My name is Olivia Durant, and I had no idea what I looked like until just a few years ago. I was blind from birth until my 30s, and this is that story. So I was born with severe myopia. I could see incredible detail from the tip of my nose to my face, but from the tip of my nose onward, I could see nothing. All I could see was shape, color, floaters, flashers, sort of like a kaleidoscope. I didn't come from a family that had money, and I actually was abandoned by my parents as a child, so I ended up getting thrown into public school with sighted kids. I did not get to go to the school for the blind, and I didn't learn Braille. I didn't have any accommodation other than maybe get up to the front of the room and try. So I would take a book and I would smash it against my face, and I would read like this. And I could see the paper fibers, I could see the ink, but I would put together the letters into words and just go like this. And I actually would have ink on the tip of my nose from smearing. It looked weird. I just looked like the stereotypical giant glasses nerd on steroids. I was told that I was stupid, fat, and ugly for my entire life by some of my family members, but also by most of the kids I went to school with, because that's, I guess, what bullies do. I couldn't see myself to really sort out that that was wrong. So I was unable to really establish a sense of self, and I took on this sense of self that other people told me I should have. I was getting bullied and beaten up so much at school. Like, I would just stand there, not be able to see anything. Somebody would grab me, and next thing I know, I'd be on the floor, and some boy would be kicking me in the side or spitting on me, something like that. And teachers let this happen because I guess there's too many kids and there's not enough teachers, right? So I joined a karate school, and the guy that owned the school ended up being like a second father to me. I was pretty terrible at it, but I would just sit up there with him and read books or talk, and it was a place where I felt that I had a family, and he's like, well, I'll teach you. So I ended up learning how to fight there. So from, if somebody grabbed my arm, I knew how to defend against it, and I started fighting semi-professionally, and tables started turning. It gave me confidence that I did not have, and a family that I didn't have as well. So it was a great point in my life. Surgery existed to give me sight in the 90s. And I remember one did mention, if we replace the lens of your eye with an implant, just like cataract surgery, you'll be able to see. And at the time, I think it was something like $40,000. And they were just like, yeah, we're not gonna recommend that to you because it's just too expensive and insurance doesn't cover it. So what happened was, in 2014, I developed actual cataracts. And then they were like, well, the insurance is going to cover it, but you need a laser surgery on top of that. So that's gonna be about $10,000 extra. And I said something about it on Facebook. And in 3 hours, people that knew me had donated over $10,000, and I said, please stop. I want to give the rest to charity. I ended up going in for 4 surgeries. You have to look at a laser, and the laser divides your eye into a checkerboard shape, and then they implant and inject a lens that unfurls into your eye. The whole process took from January 2016 until about November 2016. It wasn't the easiest thing I've ever done. So I remember when I woke up from surgery, it wasn't like a big bang thing, right? Where you just wake up and like, I can see perfectly. When I was able to see people, it was like too much information. I developed really bad anxiety because it's like, if you've ever seen any of those sci-fi shows where some normal person gets psychic powers and then they have a nervous breakdown and start screaming, that's what happened to me. And doctors are medical doctors. They're not going to say, oh, be prepared, this might put you in therapy. But apparently, most people it does. I get along really well with transgender people because they get the idea of dramatic rebirth that you can't ignore and you have to deal emotionally and mentally. But it was very hard. I would say the hardest years of my life were the 2 years after my surgery. So I went into this salad bar place right after surgery, and it had one of those mirrored walls. And I walked in and I saw a person next to me, and it's that awkward thing where somebody is so close to you that you have to say hi to them, right? And I was like, oh, hi. And I said hello to myself. And then I'm like looking, did anybody see me say hi to myself, the reflection in the mirror? And I'm like, no. And then I was like, oh my God, that's me. Do I look like that? Oh, wow, what? And I just started crying. I had a nervous breakdown, and I probably looked like a person that was losing her grip on reality, but I didn't recognize myself at all. And even sometimes at night now, I will look at myself in the mirror and be like, is that me? And if I'm not paying attention, I can revert to the person that I was told I was before I got the surgery, because I feel like everybody is programmed at a young age with their identity. My life has been hard, but I'm actually really happy and grateful for it because I was able to get through it, and I was able to be stronger afterwards. And the main thing that I want to do is I want to make a difference on the planet for people that feel that maybe their disability or their situation is a lost cause. It's not. Like, your disability is where your superpower is. And even before I had my eye surgery, my disability was where my superpower is, because I looked at myself closer and I was able to realize how strong I was. And I'm not special. Everyone has that in them.